Hey guys, it's Ashley with 3R Sales and Service. Today we're taking a look at a 7x14 tandem axle open trailer. This particular system set up with a 5.5 gallon cold water and an 8 gallon cold water pressure washer that you'll be able to see from the rear a little bit better. We can go ahead and start up front and kind of show you what we have equipped on here. So we got 3 of the 12-inch Titan hose reels. The first 2 are electric powered. So you just push that button and it'll rewind all of your hose. There's 200 feet of pressure hose on each one of these reels. We've got our 8 gallon reel up front, and then we got our 5.5 gallon reel right next to it. This is also elevated on custom fabricated brackets that we use. Just makes it a little bit more user friendly, easier to access everything, and kind of gives a nice look to the trailer. On the hose reels, we've got the hardware that fixes your hoses in place so you don't have to worry about them getting loose and dragging on the ground. And then we've got our nozzles for each unit up front as well. Behind these first 2 hose reels, we've got a 35 gallon winterizing tank and a 35 gallon soap tank. So winterizing is super important anywhere in the northern United States. As a lot of you that live up here well know, in March and April, it'll be nice 50, 60 degree days, and then the very next day you're dropped down into the 30s or lower. So it's super important to be able to winterize your system quickly. In order to use that winterizing tank, you just slip a couple ball valves, start up your pressure washer, and use the adapter that we provide, and it'll winterize your whole system, your bypass lines, your plumbing lines, your hose reels, everything, just to simplify it for you. Moving down a little bit further, we have a 525 gallon water tank, and we've got the 2-inch tank drain with a valve to control it, just on the other side of the trailer here. You can use it for hand washing or bucket filling, and of course when it's 2 inches it drains that tank significantly faster, and when you've got a 525 gallon tank you want to be able to drain it and get on the road to your next job as quickly as possible. Past the tank here we've got our shirts box. This is a remote control soap system. This one controls the 5.5 gallon a minute soap, because they're going to use that machine for the most part for applying their soap. How this works is when you're using your regular soap nozzle, the light will be flashing that it's on, and then you hit the remote button. It doesn't shut the soap injector off, but what it does is it changes it over to draw water through it instead. So it's rinsing your injector and applying only water, and you can still use your low pressure soap nozzles without having to come back and physically shutting off your injector valve. So extends the life of your injector and makes it a lot easier, a lot less walking back and forth. We've got the incoming hose reel. This one's a hand crank reel, and it's got 100 feet of the Flexzilla 3/4 inch hose on it. And again, we use those adapters at the bottom to keep them in place. Around back, we've got the 2 pressure washers. This one is the 3000 PSI 5.5 gallon a minute with the GX 390. And then we've got our 3500 at 8 with the GX 690 engine on it, and a 6 gallon fuel tank around back. So we use a bigger battery on this because this helps power the power hose reels that we have up front. So it's important to get a battery that's not going to, after a few weeks die and then you're not able to use your hose reels and all that stuff. And the engine actually charges up this battery to power up those reels as well. On the tank, you can see all the hoses that we kind of have going up here. That lime greenish hose is the incoming line, so it goes from your hose reel up into the tank. Underneath where that hose attaches, we have a filter. It's kind of a pre-filter before it goes into the tank, and keeps the float valve that's on the underside of the tank from getting clogged too quickly. So, and again, that float valve will help shut off the water level in your tank once it gets full, and then allow for it to flow again once it gets in there. So just kind of a pre-filter to help that from happening. So the other hoses here, we got a yellow hose. This is the bypass hose for the pressure washers, just so you can keep it running as long as you need to. And then the bypass hose is the black line over there for the 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washer. Last hose is the 1/4 inch hose that runs to the shirts box and allows for rinsing through the injector valve. And then from the other side, you can just get a better view of these 35 gallon tanks that we have up front. We've got the soap lines running to both machines, so you can apply soap with the 8 gallon or with the 5.5. But again, control that 5.5 with the shirts box if you want to. So if you guys have any questions on this rig, feel free to give us a call. But otherwise, this is actually our customer's second unit that they've gotten from us. So very similar to how they set it up before. They just kind of wanted it a newer version. So, all right, thanks.